You have come to play. All of a sudden he's speaking. Well, I've come to play too. This is my Let's Play after all. It's been going on for like 20 hours. How can anyone stand to hear 20 hours of my voice over this game? If anyone goes back and watches this playthrough with the playlist, just with autoplay or whatever, which I'm sure you wouldn't be able to do in one day, because that would be a little bit ridiculous, but I'm really curious what that would be like, because I'm probably not going to do it myself. Just picturing how different things have been over the course of the LP, with how much stuff has changed. I know that the audio, the sound quality of my microphone has changed a number of times. My commentary style might have changed a little bit, but not all that much. Yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing over and over. Just jump back, wait for you to attack. Short and easy fight, just like all the other Ozobe fights. With the possible exception of the one where he's riding on a boar, but enough. Strange angle. It's like Link is holding a camera, like a huge camera, in front of his head below his eyes to take a selfie. But not a smelfie. The smelfie. That's an even stupider term than selfie. I follow the strongest side. That's all I have ever known. I love how this guy has 3 lines, all of which happened in the past, like, 2 minutes. And that's how he makes his exit from the series. Or, well, yeah, I meant to say just from the game, but from the series is also true. He spoke. He sure did, Midna. He sure did. You know what? There is no reason for me to open this treasure chest over here. It's like we came all this way to open a red... It's red rupee, okay. That's good. We did get the key, that's the important thing. Just also kind of funny that there's also just a red rupee chest that serves no purpose. What's up here? I kind of forgot about this. Are there any more treasure chests? I don't really care if there are. I'm not really trying to get everything in the game, I'm just trying to... I got a yellow rupee! The singing got really bad towards the end there, so I just decided to embrace it. I got a blue rupee! There, that was a little bit better. And that will be the last interruption by rupees for the game. So I hope everyone enjoyed my, whatever that was. It's not important. Good on you, Link, for knowing how to to pick up huge doors with no handles. You're an inspiration to us all. I still have the Hawkeye out. There's no reason for me to. But yeah, something I was going to talk about, that I mentioned in an earlier segment that I still probably should talk about, is things about this game that I don't like. It's easy for me to gush over this game, because it is my favorite Zelda. I'm pretty confident about that now, especially after seeing this dungeon again. You know, I'm obviously going to... It's going to be easier for me to talk about the good aspects of it whenever there's so much about it that I like. But then, there are parts about it that I want to be fair about, like there are things that I think other Zelda games do better. For example, in the live stream I said something about how Ocarina of Time has the slightly non-linear structure, where sometimes you can do dungeons in a different order than just one after another. Whereas in this game, you pretty much have to go from one dungeon to the next, and that's it. There's no way to really break from that pattern. So that's something I prefer about Ocarina of Time. I wouldn't say it's a bad design decision to have all of them in a linear order. I just think it's nice to be able to have a little bit more freedom than it offers. I think the combat in this game is the best in the series. It's simple in some ways, complex in others. I think it just works really well. And it's not... I wouldn't call the Skyward Sword stuff a chore, but it is more of a hassle than just pressing buttons in most other Zelda games. So make of that what you will. How am I running into every wall in existence? I just got off a boar a little while ago to cross the desert, and now I'm having a jolly old boar time here. Like I said before, I appreciate that this game does a lot of pretty random things that aren't just, you know, the main mechanics of the game. It's not just using your sword, attacking enemies, going through some puzzles. It has a lot of other stuff to offer as well. Which isn't necessarily totally out of the realm of Zelda as a series, but somehow I feel like this game does more with that than others do. Because I know that A Link Between Worlds had that stupid baseball game. And then, you have the little minigame huts where the shooting galleries in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. You have Skyward Sword had that, like, Minesweeper type rupee game. And also the pumpkin carrying. Everyone hates the pumpkin carrying. I don't know. That's something I respect about this game. Something that I wish that it did more with was, I wish that the... Nope, don't target the right thing. Okay, good. I wish that this game was harder. I've said that before, but I do think that it would benefit this game to be not a complete pushover all the time. Even though the easiness is part of the reason that I like it, I think that certain parts of it could be more difficult and it wouldn't be a problem. Like, if there was more stuff like the Cave of Ordeals, and even the Cave of Ordeals isn't the hardest thing in the world, but it's definitely more of a spike. So I can appreciate that. Maybe not more stuff like the Cave of Ordeals in that I want more really, really long sets of enemies and a bunch of rooms, but just, I don't know, maybe more difficult boss fights that do more damage or something. Something like that. You know, I already know what's at the end of this path. It's just a treasure chest that gets like 20 rupees or something. I don't really care about that. What I do care about is this. This is, something that I didn't know was here in the first time that I played this game. So my second time playing this game, whenever I discovered this, it was like a mind-tripping moment. There's this whole area here that is entirely optional, and it has its own puzzles and everything, and it's really cool, and the reward for it, I think, like the reward for beating it is also kind of cool. And it maintains the great atmosphere of the rest of the temple, the Templar. I cannot speak very well. I did go through this a little while ago, so I know what I'm doing. I kind of wish that I didn't, but whenever I was going through this dungeon earlier, it was just going a little bit too slowly, so I'm gonna try... No. I'm gonna try seeing if I can get this guy without using bomb arrows and just bombs instead. Yep. He is gone from the material sphere. Stay. Good dog. Now you stay as well. That kid comedian. His name is Ned, I don't remember the rest of his name. But that kid comedian on America's Got Talent, or maybe Britain's Got Talent, I think it's America's. He says savage a little bit too much, but he truly is a savage. I'm just thinking about the, that's what I thought about after the word dog, for some reason. Well, you would know the reason if you've seen it. And if not, then I would recommend it because it's something. But if nobody cares, then that's fine, I guess. Okay. Beat you into the bomb. Sweet. don't think there's anything that I don't think you have to fight off all of those skeleton monsters. I just think it's nice. Just to clean the area out. Let's see, what's over here? Oh my goodness! And Midna is just yawning away. She is not impressed. Yeah, this definitely spooked me the first time that I saw this. I just turned on my senses, all of a sudden ghost soldiers. Really creepy. I mean, they're nice, they're good soldiers, they're trying to be helpful. They don't do anything bad, they're not evil, they're just there. And you don't expect them to be there. There's never anything like that elsewhere in the game. It's just, what? So that's a good startling moment for this already kind of surprising area, and just the fact that it exists. I already know what's in this chest, and I'm not going to open it because it's 100 rupees, and that won't fit in my wallet right now, so let's put it back. And for some reason, this one lantern turns off the sky. It just causes all of the rain to stop. Not forever, only for a little while, but it still controls the weather. That lantern is the Wind Waker. Except it's even better than the Wind Waker. It's more like the Ocarina of Time, because the Ocarina of Time was able to cause it to rain and stop raining. So I wonder if that lantern right there, specifically, could override the Ocarina of Time with the Song of Storms. Everyone's favorite Zelda song. It's kind of weird how certain songs just catch on more than others. Because the Song of Storms is not really the most impressive song, but it is catchy, and it's apparently catchy to the point that everyone remembers it. And it never leaves anyone's heads, and everyone just really, really likes it and doesn't want to stop listening to it. But I think a very underappreciated song in the Zelda series is the, I think it's the Earth Temple music. It's not Fire Temple, but Earth Temple in Skyward Sword. Not Wind Waker, but Skyward Sword. I really like the music in that dungeon. More people need to listen to it and enjoy the wonders. Maybe not wonders, but it is catchy. So, catchy. Takechi's challenge. We have another small key. That's 2 small keys at once. That might be unprecedented for this game. Probably not. I just have a faulty memory, because I have a faulty memory. I even have a faulty memory with things that my girlfriend says. Like, she'll tell me about a movie that she's seen, maybe, and I will say something like 2 weeks later about, hey, have you seen this movie? And she'll be like, I just told you. And I'm like, oh. I'm sorry. Not rudely like that. She's not a very rude person to me. It's just, like, I feel silly whenever I forget things that should be really obvious. Or she'll tell me, hey, I'm gonna be out of town for the weekend. And then, a day later, I will ask what she's doing for the weekend, and then it's stupid. Like, why do I have such a dumb memory? If there's some kind of trigger for me to remember something, then I'll remember it just fine. But when there's not, it just completely exits my mind. Alright, do any of these barrels have anything in them? Do you have a heart? You do have a heart. Good. I like you, barrel. You are not a heartless barrel. That is something PewDiePie might say, maybe. I don't know. Why was that small section of stairs, like, insurmountable for a moment? Okay, I'll fight you chickens. Oddly enough, less threatening than cuckoos. Maybe not the cuckoos in this game, because if you kill a cuckoo in this game, you just turn into one. A game where being a chicken is a good thing. Also maybe Billy Hatcher, except those are kids in chicken costumes, and playing that game is only arguably a good thing. I haven't played it myself, though, so I can't really judge. It doesn't seem like a bad game, but I don't know if it would be my thing. Oh yeah, this is where the music begins. The Hyrule Castle theme from A Link to the Past. Just more melancholic in tone. So distant. The Hyrule Castle really does an awesome, awesome job setting a tone. I really, really like it. And I feel like no other dungeon in the Zelda series quite does this. Maybe something vaguely similar, but not quite like this. Someone in the stream said that the enemies in this game have really well-made designs, which I do and don't agree with. That's something else I could say is kind of a negative about this game, I guess, is that I feel like the enemy designs are more generic in this game than other Zeldas, in the sense that they just kind of look like monsters that could be in any other RPG, or... This isn't an RPG in the same way. I mean, I think Zelda might be technically an RPG in some sense, but... I don't know, the monsters in this game seem more typical to me. Even though it's cool that, like, the Lizalfos have axes on their tails and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being unfair about it because I like when games have more cartoony enemies. Even Bomberman Hero, I said, like, people complained about that game having uninspired enemy designs, and I didn't think they were all that uninspired, and I liked how they looked because, you know, even though maybe some of the bird enemies were just birds with rocket ships on their backs or something,